In 2013, a small-town police station received a strange 911 call. The voice on the other end was a woman, whispering in sheer terror. "He's here. I can't escape." Then the line went dead. The police tried tracing the call, but it led them to an old phone registered to a man named Marcus Hill, who had gone missing over 20 years ago. The strangest part, that phone had been disconnected for decades. Detective Daniel, new to the department, felt drawn to the case, despite warnings from his colleagues to leave old files alone. He tracked down Marcus's last known address, finding his house abandoned on the outskirts of town. It looked like no one had touched it in years. Dust covered every surface, and the doors creaked like they hadn't been opened in ages. But in the living room, Daniel discovered something chilling. Marcus's old phone, the very one the call came from, was sitting on the table. Next to it was an old photograph of Marcus with a young woman. But here's the terrifying part. The woman in the picture matched the voice from the call. Daniel felt a chill crawl down his spine, but curiosity pushed him further. He continued exploring the house until he noticed a small door tucked behind the staircase. It was barely visible. He pried it open and found narrow steps leading down to a pitch-black basement. With each step the air grew colder, heavier. At the bottom, Daniel found an old wooden chair, with rusty shackles attached. The walls were covered in scratched-out messages. "Don't forget me. He isn't who you think. You can't escape." Suddenly, Daniel heard a ringing. The old phone upstairs was ringing again. Heart pounding, he rushed back up, grabbed the receiver, but before he could speak, he saw something that made his blood run cold. In the reflection of the window across the room, his shadow moved on its own. Daniel stood frozen, watching as his reflection smiled back at him. Then, a voice whispered directly into his ear. "Now it's your turn." The next day Daniel was gone. His car was still parked outside the house, but there was no trace of him inside. When the police came to investigate, they found the old phone still on the table. But this time, Detective Daniel's number was the last outgoing call.